I worked the night shift at a Burger King in rural Ohio, not because I needed money, but because I needed the quiet. And that was my first mistake. People think fast food jobs are loud, busy, chaotic. But after 1 a.m., that place felt like a sealed room. No cars, no voices, just the hum of freezers, and the feeling that something was waiting for me to notice it. My name is Ethan Miller. I was 22. My dad, Robert, worked construction until a back injury forced him home. My mom, Linda, cleaned offices at night. Rent was behind, bills stacked up. So when Burger King offered me a night shift supervisor role, I didn't ask questions. I should have. My shift started at 10 p.m. By 11:30, the last customer usually left. At 12, the doors locked automatically. That's when the building changed. The air felt thicker, like the walls were holding their breath. On my first night, the manager, Greg, handed me the keys. He didn't smile. He just said, "If the drive-through sensor goes off after 1 o'clock, don't answer it." I laughed. What if someone's actually there? Greg stared at me longer than necessary. Then it's already too late, and he left. At 1:17 a.m., the drive-through bell rang. Ding, the screen lit up. No car headlights, no engine sound, just a shadow on the camera feed. Tall, too tall. I leaned closer. The shadow didn't move. It just stood there, like it was waiting for me to speak. I muted the system. My hands were shaking. Around 2 a.m., I went to the freezer. The temperature dropped fast. As I turned back, I heard a soft tapping, not metal, not glass, fingernails, coming from the inside of the walk-in freezer door. I froze. The tapping stopped, then a whisper, "You forgot to lock it." I ran. At 2:46 a.m., I called my mom. She answered, half asleep. I didn't explain everything. I just said, "Mom, something's wrong here." She paused, then said something that made my stomach drop. "Ethan, your shift ends at 6, just don't leave early." I asked why. She whispered, "Because your father once worked nights too." The line went dead. At 4:58 a.m., the drive-through bell rang again. This time, the camera showed me, standing outside, smiling, waving. I grabbed my keys. I didn't think. I ran to my car. As I reversed, something slammed into the back seat. The car stalled, and behind me, I heard breathing that wasn't mine. The car engine coughed, then died. My hands were locked on the steering wheel. The breathing came closer, slow, wet. I didn't turn around. I slammed the accelerator. The engine roared back to life. I drove. I didn't stop until I saw sunrise. I didn't go back to work that night or the next. Burger King never called, no messages, no termination email. Like I had never existed there. I thought it was over. I was wrong. 3 nights later at 1:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. A notification. Burger King drive-through camera, motion detected. I didn't work there anymore. Attached was a photo, the empty drive-through, and in the reflection of the glass, my bedroom door, open. I finally asked my dad about his night job. He went quiet, then said, "Some places don't close, Ethan. They just change workers." That night, I heard the bell again. Ding, from inside my house. And that's when I realized I never clocked out. Because the rule was, never don't answer the drive-through. The rule was, never let it see your face. I worked at a gas station that didn't exist. Not officially. It wasn't on Google Maps. It wasn't on company records. And after what happened that night, I'm not even sure it was real. But the paychecks were, and that's why I stayed. My name is Daniel Harper. I was 24 at the time. My younger sister Maya had just started college. My mom, Claire, was dealing with medical bills after surgery. My dad wasn't in the picture anymore. Money wasn't optional. It was survival. So when I saw a job posting for a night shift attendant, highway gas station, I applied immediately. The interview lasted less than 5 minutes. That should have been my first red flag. The station sat off Highway 47, surrounded by trees. No nearby town, no houses, just forest. During the day, it looked normal. At night, it felt disconnected from the world, like the road passed through it, but reality didn't. On my first shift, the manager, Mr. Lawson, handed me a printed paper. He didn't explain much, just said, "Follow the rules, don't improvise." The rules were simple. 1. Lock the doors at 12:30 a.m. 2. Serve customers only through the night window. 3. If a customer asks for fuel at pump 6, refuse. 4. If you see someone standing near the tree line, ignore them. 5. If the lights flicker 3 times in a row, hide. I laughed. He didn't. By 1 a.m., traffic stopped completely. The forest felt louder than the highway. Around 1:22. The lights flickered once, twice. I held my breath. They stopped. I told myself it was old wiring. Then I noticed something strange. Pump 6. The screen was active. It showed fueling in progress, but no car was there. The numbers were going up, gallons increasing, money rising, like someone invisible was filling a tank. I unplugged the system from inside. The numbers stopped for a second. Then slowly, they started rising again. At 2:03 a.m., a black SUV pulled in, no headlights. It rolled silently to pump 4. The driver's side window was dark. I waited for someone to step out. No one did. 5 minutes passed. Then the horn beeped once. Short, controlled. I stepped to the window. "Sir?" No response. I leaned closer. The seat was empty, but the engine was running, and the steering wheel was slowly turning left, right, left, on its own. The store lights flickered once, twice, 3 times. My stomach dropped. Rule number 5, if the lights flicker 3 times, hide. I didn't think. I ran to the storage room in the back and shut the door. The building went silent. No humming fridge, no buzzing lights, nothing. Then I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, inside the store, but I had locked the doors. The footsteps stopped outside the storage room. A hand pressed against the other side of the door. I could see the shadow underneath. Then a voice, calm, almost polite. "You served the wrong pump." My heart nearly stopped. Pump 6. The footsteps moved away. After a few minutes, the lights came back. I slowly stepped out. The SUV was gone. Pump 6 display read $66.60. Exactly. I checked the cameras. Everything was normal. No SUV, no movement, no footsteps. Just me, standing there, alone. At 3:17 a.m., the store phone rang. No caller ID. I answered. Silence. Then, "Next time, don't interrupt the fueling." The line disconnected. I unplugged the phone. It rang again, even unplugged. At 4:02 a.m., something triggered the motion sensor near the back exit. I turned the camera feed on. There was someone standing at the edge of the forest, tall, too tall, watching the station, watching me. Then slowly, it started walking toward pump 6, and this time, it wasn't invisible. The figure stepped fully under the gas station lights, and that's when I realized it wasn't tall, it was stretched, like someone had pulled a normal human body upward until it became thin and unnatural. Its arms hung too low, its fingers almost touched the ground. It stopped at pump 6. The screen lit up on its own. Fueling in progress, but this time, the nozzle was still hanging on the pump, not inserted into anything. The gallons started rising again. 1.3, 2.8, 4.1. The creature slowly turned its head toward the store window. It didn't have eyes, just smooth skin where a face should have been. And somehow, I knew it was looking directly at me. The main door handle shook violently. I had locked it. It didn't matter. The glass bent inward slightly, like pressure was being applied from the outside. Then the lights flickered once, twice. I didn't wait for 3. I ran back to the storage room, but this time, the footsteps were faster, not walking, running around the store, circling it like it was testing the walls. The entire building creaked, shelves rattled, something heavy slammed into the back door. I checked the small security monitor inside storage. Every camera feed showed the same thing, pump 6, not different angles, not different areas, just pump 6 over and over on every screen, and the number stopped at $66.60, then reset and started again. That's when it hit me. I unplugged pump 6 earlier. I interrupted it. I wasn't supposed to interfere. This place wasn't for customers. It was for something else. Something that came every night, and I delayed it. The lights flickered 3 times. Total darkness. No backup lights, no emergency glow, nothing. In the pitch black, I heard something breathing behind me, inside the storage room, but I was alone when I entered, slow, wet, close to my ear. Then a whisper, "Employees must remain until fueling is complete." My body locked. I couldn't move. I felt fingers brush my shoulder, long, cold. Then suddenly, the front door alarm beeped. Morning unlock timer, 5 a.m. The lights snapped back on. Silence. I spun around. The storage room was empty. I stepped outside slowly. The forest was still, too still. Pump 6 display read, "Transaction approved," but no payment method, no vehicle, no receipt, just approval. Then I noticed something carved into the side of the pump. Fresh, deep scratches in the metal, 6 tall lines, and underneath it, 1 short line, like tally marks. I realized what it meant. 6 before me. I was the 7th. When my shift ended, I drove straight home. I searched the gas station location online. Nothing. No listing. No reviews. No company name. I checked my bank account. The direct deposit from that job was gone, like it had never existed. The next day, I drove back during daylight. There was no station, no building, just an empty clearing off Highway 47. No concrete, no pumps, nothing, like it had never been there. That night at exactly 1:22 a.m. My bedroom lights flickered once, twice. I froze. They stopped. My phone buzzed. Unknown number, 1 text message. Pump 6 is ready. And outside my window, I heard the sound of fuel flowing. I don't work night shifts anymore, but sometimes when I pass a gas station late at night, I check the pumps just to make sure there isn't one labeled 6.